Welcome to day 3 in our first look week of Webisodes, and you have loved the Engraved Dazzles. Wait till you see what we have today.
Right, today we have them in border designs. Absolutely beautiful with that engraved foiling, and you can add color.
Yes, and we're going to show you how. Come play with us. Well, as you can see, we have the gold ones, and there are 5 different designs. And they have that beautiful engraved look.
Right, and it's an etched look, so it's actually textured on there, which gives it, I think, a little more pop of shine. It's kind of beautiful. I think it does too. Way.
And as you can see, these are on the transparent material, which lets your papers peek through beautifully.
So you can basically add that to any color that you want, whatever you have in your stash, and make it your own because you can see through it to those papers.
Now we have them in gold, and if we'll back up a little bit, I'm going to push up that we also have them in silver.
Right, and on each one of these, let me pick one of these up just briefly. You're going to get a wider border that's about so long, one long thin border, and you're going to get an extra 1 or 2 elements to either stack on top of that with foam tape or use it maybe on the inside of your card. Plus quite a few of these, if you turn it sideways, these borders are going to be gorgeous too, so they can be used this way or vertically.
Yeah. In fact, this is the one that you were really loving
that
sideways,
one in particular,
isn't it?
Yes, with a nice big flower right in the middle. And that would be gorgeous on a scrapbooking page.
Yes, it would. Yes. Right. Okay, so we're going to scoot these.
All right.
And probably the easiest and very striking look is to have it on a dark paper.
Right.
However, this is a suede paper, so it just looks beautiful.
Really rich that way, and so simply picked up and placed on the suede, and there it is.
And you're done.
It's a gorgeous look. It really does stand out on those darker papers. I love that.
It does, and this is with the Charleston papers,
right,
which just looks gorgeous, and this isn't finished on the inside, so we'll just show you that one.
Card. Okay.
Now, you can also do a couple of different things. Now, Gail talked about those extra pieces of art that you can foam tape them on top, and that's what Lene did
that's
on this one.
That's what's been done there. But she also placed them on patterned papers, which makes it so that you can see right through to that. So I love that about it. And she added a little bit of color.
Right.
And I'm going to show you how we can do that. So I've got some of the dazzles here. I've got patterned paper here. And I'm going to start with pulling in my chalk set. This is kind of strange because they're kind of plastic, and you're thinking, how can you put chalk on the front of a plastic sort of dazzle? No, it's not going to work on the front, but Lene discovered that it will work on the back.
On the sticky side, which is interesting.
So pick it up, turn it over. I've got my chalk here, and I'm going to start with the green. I've got the little palm here, and a real used set of chalk here. We use it for quite a lot. Get a little bit of that chalk. And then I'm going to focus on the leaves and on the ferns, and she just in general went right around those areas where the ferns are, a little bit out of the center. You don't have to go all the way out to the edges. Just add a little bit there, add a little bit to the leaves that are going to be around the background. And then I'm going to set my chalk applicator down, turn it over, and place it right onto the patterned paper. So you can see that green standing out just a little bit. You can see the green, like the halo behind there.
Right.
I did the same thing with the roses onto this pink paper. First, I did a little chalk onto the back of the center only of the rose, then place it on the patterned papers, cut it out, and foam tape it in place, and you have what you see on the card.
Yeah, so you can see the chalk right there, and just does a nice dimensional too of letting that lift up with foam tape. So really pretty.
It is.
Very,
it's
very
just
nice.
Beautiful.
It just feels funny to color on the sticky side.
On the sticky side, it almost like you're afraid that what you're using is going to stick, but you see it didn't. It really, and then you can still stick that dazzle in place. So that's beautiful.
Now for this one, adding even more color and a brighter pop of color, we're going to go to our old favorite, the Spectrum Noir pens.
Noir pens.
Right.
And this is on a center step card. So beautiful. So there you've got that extra element as the focal in this one, and you've got the borders, and those are the thinner borders out along the edges.
And as you said, this is on the center step, so you've got whether using the template or the center step cards, you've got the paper patterns in with those die-cut cards.
So let me bring in my cardstock. I've got the Dazzles. I'm going to pick up that butterfly. And again, Lene chose to color on the back of this with Spectrum, on the sticky side, even with the Spectrum Noir pens. Now, the reason she said that she did that is because she was afraid if she used the pens on the front that the alcohol from the pens would ruin the surface. I'm not quite sure where. I'm just going to go in some different areas. Would ruin the surface of that foiling.
Or lift the foil.
Would lift the foil, would remove it. And so she chose to go on the back, and you can just have fun coloring this in. This is something that I think is a great idea. Choose whatever color you like. You can make this pale colors, bright colors, whatever you want. When you're all done coloring it in, just turn it over and place it on your cardstock. And there you go.
Right. And so here's another look at that. And she has added some of the tiny words and phrases dazzles, which is really a nice size, so make a wish. And I love the pop of color. This is on the paper painting papers.
Beautiful
and just,
look.
Yeah, very, very pretty. Adding.
I love the center step cards because then they can just sort of stand up afterwards. And this is so really bright. So you're starting out with that gold, and you could do this on silver as well. And it's making such bright colors because you can add colors, make it whatever color you want.
Now here is a piece out of that same sheet, actually, and a little more gentle colors, a little more subdued.
Right. And for this one, Susan colored these in with Spectrum Noir pens too, but she colored on the front. So that's really simple to do. You can just do it right on the front. Now see, I think if you're going to do this, if you don't want to disturb that gold foiling, you just color in those areas that are open.
Just stay away from the foiling?
Yeah, and now you can see, if you zoom in, you can see I'm moving around, I'm moving my pen around, and I'm going right up to the gold foiling, and I don't see, it doesn't remove as long as you're not sitting there working on it.
Okay.
So I wouldn't go all the way back and forth. I would stay in those open areas, and you can like let it dry for a second and then add a second layer to make it a little darker. Absolutely beautiful. So you can place that on your card and color it in afterwards.
Okay, so regular side, sticky side, paper, or just simply put it onto a darker color, and you get just a beautiful, beautiful look. Or you can layer them.
Right.
So
something I want to say, something I haven't seen here. I mean, for one thing, great on scrapbook pages. They'd be just beautiful. But also putting these on acetate, then coloring on the back and using it as a window in your card. That would work wonderfully. And I think we did that with the first Engraved Dazzles that we put out. So there are examples. And you can see the product video to see these more in detail.
So we've got the new Engraved Dazzles, and just in case you're sitting there thinking, yes, we've worked on Christmas ones. So you'll see that a little bit later in the year. And but tomorrow, please join us again for a brand new webisode in our week of webisodes.
Day 4. See you then.